Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and otherwise. I'm Lamar Haven. Welcome back to Shovel Knight. As you can see, we have a visitor on the road today, so why don't we take care of that first? Oh, I can't believe this! Trouble, friend. Have you lost your way? Bought the best gear, the slickest armor, the strongest rope. Pardon? Are you in need of help? Those stuck-up Order of No Quarter clowns have no idea what they're missing. Hey, you look like a knight. Shovel Knight, at your service. But I'm not in league with... So I heard that if you beat a knight, you get to take their title, right? Please, don't do something you regret. I don't want to. The Great Baz Knight. Like the sound of that. They'll have no choice but to accept me now. Come on, let's do this. And now we fight the Baz. Or just Baz, I suppose. This guy can be a bit of a pain if you don't understand his pattern. But we're going to take advantage of this new charged blade. Oh dear! Oh, and he does that too. He now shocks lightning that strikes from the sky. Ah, so be careful. Ah, oh dear. Ah, got me again. Ah, see, very dangerous to hop on his head when he's got this going on. So you might notice that the charged swing from your shovel does a hell of a lot more damage than your regular swing. We'll be taking good advantage of that later, but for now, Baz is down. And we get some free gold. No way! Not even my best moves could phase you! Well fought. If you can accept defeat like a true knight, you'll always have your dignity. Now they'll never let me into the order! Never, ever, ever! Ah! Baby! Yeah, you can dig out some last second money from him when he's crying on the floor. That wasn't embarrassing at all. So we do have some quick cash we can spend. And I think I'm going to do that along with turning in this music piece. Yep, there we go. 2 music sheets, 500 each. Let's see. Oh, you found Fighting with All Our Might. This was written for Another Land's heroic tales. It was perfect fit for grand battle. Alright, in fact, let's turn that on, shall we? I wonder where it is. Courage Under Fire, Fighting with All Our Might. Alright, and I'm going to buy one more of the Troupple Chalices, but I'm not going to fill it. There we go! Unfilled Troupple Chalice. Switch back over to the coin, my favorite of weapons. And off we go to continue our journey. Dun, 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 dun. See, hoppity hoppity hoppity. You get an achievement if, like I said before, you get an achievement if you do that enough. Anyway, I think now would be a good opportunity to go to the Lost City and the lair of the Mole Knight. Let's get shoveling! Yep, beware. Those guys deal damage if you try and hop on them. Just felt I'd demonstrate once. Chances are I'm going to forget and do it again anyway. However. And we already see a fishing spot. So clear these so you have enough room to set up your fishing. And there we go. And another lovely day for fishing here in this volcano. Wait! Don't eat me, knight! The Troupple King commands me to share his bounty with you! All hail, the Troupple King! The king of fish and fruit! Long may his stem grow! And we have got Ichor of Fortune. Absorb nearby treasure for 60 seconds, even through walls. My! How convenient! We have an opportunity to use it! And now we don't have to risk the danger of going through all that dirt that would potentially kill us. Switch to the coin and take care of you that way. This is this item is a great thing to use. This Ichor, I should say, is a great thing to use if you have a tendency to keep losing your treasure. into whatever pit is happens to be nearby. Wow, that when I said pit, it got distance. I'm sorry, I'm probably grossing some of you out. Ha! So the charge attack, as well as the attack that charges from bouncing on things, it is twice as powerful as your normal shovel attack. Also, you can't see it because the eye cord is still flashing, but it charges from bouncing on anything that you actually would need your pogo jump to bounce on. So, like, it's not working on the back of this very strange beetle, because I don't need a pogo jump to bounce off of it. But if I did need the pogo jump... Oh dear, I messed that up. That's odd. Okay, need to hurry, because I messed this up. I meant to go up there. Obviously, this was a mistake. Okay. Now that that's cleared up, let's not go over there. I can't make the jump now. I usually don't miss that. Alright, so here we have another big enemy, but I like to fight him from over here. A lot safer, especially since he's protected his head, so I can't bounce on top of it. One of the many uses of the flare rod, as I've seen it. Ooh, I forgot that sometimes moles come out of the dirt areas here. You see how those fish have, like, metal heads? They're not into metal music, although I suppose they could be. I haven't asked. It means that when you hop on them, you don't hurt them. Careful. There we go. And I tend to kill that fish because it gets in the way. Whew. And now, because we have that jump charge thing, those other knights are much easier to deal with now. This was the big ability I was waiting for to make those guys very easy. Here we're introduced to a new mechanic, exploding rocks. They cause... Oh no! Very much didn't mean to do that. They cause a chain reaction if they're connected to other rocks and you explode them. And you, I should say, you shovel them to cause them to explode. Alright, so here you have to use the mechanic of not being able to kill the fish when you hop on them to get across. And yes, you don't want to kill them because, in case you haven't noticed, we don't have a way back except with fish. So you kind of have to trust your instincts and your jumping skills in general. Ooh, that one I felt like I was gonna miss. To get back safely. And here, hop, hop, hop. So I was hopping on the food dish before it was triggered, and that allowed me to gain a charge of the special attack from the shovel. That's going to be important for later in the game, and it's one of the major reasons I'm hugely a fan of this armor type. Here you have to be very careful not to pogo jump, because if you do, you kind of lose your footing. Alright, secret wall over here. I'll explain the jumping mechanics of that area later. But here, we're getting a new item from Chester. In the village or out in the field, I have all the deals. You're not gonna believe what I just found in this chest. Want to see? Here we have the Dust Knuckles. Dash through dirt and foes alike. Propel with each punch. Rather than explain it, I'm going to demonstrate. Every time you use them, you punch through to the next dirt thing. Oh hey, feat accomplished, knuckle down. Wasn't expecting that. That means I got an achievement. So, the more you use these knuckles, the more you'll follow a path of dirt. So they seem to have very specific areas you're meant to use them. However, you can also use them against enemies, and I think it deals more damage than your normal shovel attack would. But I haven't tested it much because I kind of rely on my shovel attack. It does make it does mean that there are specific areas in the game though where you're supposed to use the knuckle, and that using it makes the life a lot easier. Alright, so you have any of these green platforms. It seems to be a similar material that was on the back of the bug. It causes you to permanently bounce. You don't control yourself, as in you don't stop bouncing. Forget the money. Now let's go ahead and drop this down. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. There we go. Goldfish. Then, those globs you can destroy. Let's go ahead and get the knuckle. And hop on them. However, you can also push them. And notice how it turned the fire off on that. It put the fire out. Turn the fire off, Haven. Really. It put the fire out because these are very cold globules. You can use them even on lava to turn them into the green junk. And you don't have to pogo jump, by the way. I'm just doing that because it's instinct at this point. So, ooh, I messed that up. Didn't mean to. There, come on. There we go. Wanted to get the treasure. Ah, darn it. Okay, so what you're supposed to do here is wait for it to come, put that on the platform, and it automatically falls down for you. However, you have to be careful to get this in only a few jumps, because, as you noticed, it only lasts for so long. There, and you see how you do that part. And I even have time to explain it. Alright, here you just have to be quick enough to get up and over here. Oh dear. Whew, that was close. Alright, then you get this treasure. And if you put a green blob on a part of the lava that's already green, then it'll just stay there until the lava turns back into lava. Alright, here's another part where you have to be very careful about how you use your pogo jumps. So that's where Charge Slash comes in. So you want to hit that end of the explosion so that the chain reaction takes long enough that you still have plenty of time to get back. Now here, you're going to want to first go over here to the right before fighting that guy, because otherwise you won't get your chicken. Also, fighting you my way. Done and done. Money! And obviously, there's a secret this way, but first, just in case, checkpoint. Alright, and this one is something you could do it with the phase knuckle, the phase locket this far. But notice how there's no ground? Yeah, if you only had the phase locket, you wouldn't be able to get back from this area, which would suck. That's why you have to have the knuckle. So you had to have gotten it earlier in the level. Or come back, of course. So if you hop on him, and activates him to go forward. Come, Mr. Beetle. To shovel justice! Alright, here you want to also be very careful not to activate these guys until the last moment. Oopsies. Oopsies again! Which I'm obviously doing a fantabulous job of. Oh dear. Haha! Success! Alright, here you want to attack this skeleton and destroy archaeology for generations to come. For some, wall turkey. Good old-fashioned wall turkey. Oh! Alchemy coin. You're out of your depth, Spelunker. Are you lost? These ruins belong to the ages, Mole Knight. They're mine now. But more importantly, is that your digging implement? I'm astonished you made it 10 feet with that rusty trinket. I will bury you. Here we face Mole Knight, our rival in digging. So he likes to jump around quite a bit, pretend he knows what's what. But if you're fast enough and just stay on top of him, you can get him. When he does that digging thing, whoops, look for the one that has his eyes coming out, or his visor, I should say. Whew, ha! See, if you're fast, you can get both a hit in and a pogo jump. And then, of course, whenever he does... here you have to break these so that you can get over them, so they don't crush against the wall. And one other mechanic you had to deal with was when he summons the fire, you hit flashing bits back at him, but you can't hit regular bits. That's the only way to damage him during that phase. But that's the end of Mole Knight! Had to quickly explain everything to do with this fight, because man, that didn't last very long. Poor Mole Knight. He strikes me as like the ticking version of an otaku, so that's kind of why I gave him the voice I did. In case you were wondering. It wasn't quite the usual, like, hyper nerd voice that I use, though. We're saving that for later. But now, looks like we have competition here at the Hall of Champions. But first, we have to deal with this little level. There we go. So this is a night, or a darkness level, I should say. Be very careful that you know exactly where your feet are going, and pay close attention when that lightning flashes. Ah, stupid mole. I just beat your nightly oh, I didn't mean to pogo jump. That could have gone very wrong. Okay. Hup, hup. Got that, got that, got that. Oh dear. Alright, so let him jump wherever he needs to go. No! Okay. See, I'm fine. 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 I didn't know any panicking. Yeah, screw it. I don't want his treasure anyway. Right, here I've stopped because I don't know where the end was. There we go. And onward safety. Most of the treasure you could have gotten from there was probably from that last guy, so I might have skipped it. So now that we have this much treasure, we're gonna go back to the armor outpost. Hop up here. And we have new abilities to get. We're not gonna buy new armor because, like I said, I'm probably not gonna use any of the armor. We will get it later, but not now. So, Trench Blade. Dig up a whole pile in one mighty motion. So those little piles I have to keep digging up, and a little bit of treasure, a little bit of treasure, and then eventually big treasure. This will let us do it in just one swing. This is important for getting more treasure, but it's not an unnecessary upgrade. Well, none of the upgrades are necessary, but a lot of them are really good. Like Drop Spark. Slash to spark the ground when you're at full health. So I'll see if I can demonstrate this in town. Yep, like that. So whenever you're at full health and you swing on the ground, as long as there isn't a spark already active, it'll summon a spark and you'll send it out. It does the same amount of damage as a regular swing of your shovel does. However, it doesn't activate from your charge, so keep that in mind. So we still have 2,000 gold. Doesn't look like there's anything else around here, though, that we can buy. So I guess that's that. But we still have one more night to deal with before we can move on. And the Knuckler's Quarry. And the Hall of Champions. So I think we'll start with the Hall of Champions next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then.